With a footpath for a bed and the sky for a roof, these children toil through the day to earn a livelihood. Forced to work along with their parents, these young ones were being robbed of the best days of their lives.
Child labor, I think, is one of the biggest issues in India. There are 134 million working children. Every 10th Indian is a working child. You can't have a contradiction about child labor. You have one value for your child, another value for the other child. That's not my child. But the other child is what is producing whatever we are subsisting and living on. I think we must take child labor as a very critical issue and resolve it.
But many of these children have found a savior in this man.
Hello.
John Devraj is more than just a friend or mentor. He is their guardian, a man who is determined to bring a smile on their faces.
You cannot be happy if you don't see happiness around you. So you need to work for creating that happiness. And who is the repository of happiness, joy, innocence, imagination, purity? It is children. So therefore, that is that dream. To be a child is the ultimate dream. And most of us think, I'm very intelligent, I can make billions, it's not a big deal at all. Give me one year, I can make a lot of money. But it's not worth spending my time making money. Money doesn't give you any happiness. If love was a thing that money could buy, the rich would live and the poor would die. So I think we need to work for a much deeper cause. And the less you look at yourself, the more there is joy. So it's in giving that you can actually fulfill your dream.
With a mission to give all street children the freedom they deserve, John Devraj founded the Born Free Art School in 2004. He gathered children living on the streets of Bangalore and gave them a safe shelter, a place to learn and have fun. John uses different forms of art, dance and theatre to help these children form new memories and build a world of happiness in the time they spend at this special school.
The Born Free Art School became a necessity, and it was an evolution of gathering street children into a forum. So for the first time, I gathered about 45 street children and had a workshop. I just lived with them for 1.5 months, a kind of a community. There we practiced theatre, music, dance, drama, basically having a lot of fun. So I was able to motivate children from almost 30 countries to come to the school. 5 lakh children have actually contributed. Children have brought earth, sand, cement in their pockets. Every brick will speak about the children. We made the blocks here. It's made out of rammed mud blocks, which we created here. Every leaf, everything that we have put in is what children have made. So I only want to say, if we have a greater participation, if we have a community participating in this, I think we are able to change this country, and I want to do that. I want to, this is just an island of change, you know, it should become a movement.
A working child is most often oblivious to the fact that he is being wronged. John knows this fully well because he was forced to work when he was only 13 years old. Little did he know that he would be crusading against the same evil decades later.
I went to the Code's factory. My job was to wash drunken whiskey bottles. I kept doing that, but I never realized I was a child laborer at that point. Only when I become aware that when you work for others, you become a child laborer. But when you work at home for your own family, you're not.
John Devraj even took to sculpting monuments on the theme of child abuse and poverty. As he carved patiently with his tools, he created beautiful sculptures which spread the message of peace, friendship and freedom. Bangalore is home to 17 such public monuments.
I went to a stone cutting place where they make grinding stones, and I employed myself as a daily wage earner. And they would pay me 60 rupees. The owner asked me, do you know how to make stones? I said, yes, of course I know. Who doesn't know? I said, because I believe that knowledge comes from imitation and imitation of nature. So I just did that. But the first few days, I did not hit the chisel, but I was hitting always my thumb. So I bandaged the chisel to my hand, and I kept on working on it. But I soon picked it up.
John is also campaigning for underprivileged children who live in the slums of this posh city. He believes that education must be brought to them at their doorsteps if they do not have the resources to attend regular school.
I went to this slum at one Rajasthani slum, the other one is a slum completely dominated by Muslim community. I realized that in one slum, 60 children never went to school, the other children, 50 children never went to school, running half naked everywhere. So we actually started a school, and how can such a large group of children be uneducated? So we really pressurized the government to start a tent school.
A selfless spirit on a path to empower and educate, John learned some crucial lessons at a very tender age. Having grown up in a remote village in Mysore, John lived in a small rented apartment with his parents and 10 siblings. His modest upbringing taught him the importance of sharing and ingrained in him the feeling of compassion.
So my mother is teaching us how to care and how to share with everybody the resources. So she would share an orange into 13 pieces, 12 of us, plus one piece for the child who came begging on the street. This was for me something very unique and very special. And when we took a sweet from a birthday gift from our classmate, we had to give it to our mother. She would crush that sweet into 13 pieces and share it equally to all. So for me, this was a tremendous impact. I wanted to share from the beginning. Sharing was a central value.
One of John Dev Raj's proudest moments came earlier this year, when 100 students from the Born Free Art School were admitted into a premier educational institution in Bangalore, the Indus International School.
We had John to do a presentation to us on the great work that he's doing for children who are on the streets. His organization called Born Free, and we were inspired by the work that he was doing, and we wanted to help people like John. And we already had a platform with us like the Equal Opportunity School, and we offered to John that we would take 100 kids, 50 boys and 50 girls, and you'll be happy to know that the first lot of kids have already arrived. The main difference between this and other community schools is that the underprivileged children who come in our community school, they come from below the poverty line. They receive the same privileges, the same facilities, the same food, the same curriculum, the same technology which privileged children get.
Rightly named the Equal Opportunity School, John's students are availing facilities which they could only dream of until now, be it formal education, sessions of art, or a gymnastics class.
Before I came to Born Free, I was staying in street. I used to work in hotel and also rag pick and also beg. From that money, I used to take some drugs. When I was entered to Born Free School, I saw like they're drawing, clay modeling, they are doing dance. Then I thought, oh, I want to change my life, and I also want to learn like this kind of things. Then I went to 1 year basic educate. Then I directly went to 7th standard, and I finished my 9th, 10th. Now also I finished my first year, second year college. I am doing my first year degree.
A master of all trades, John also dons the hat of a painter every now and then. He plans to curate an art exhibition at the Indus International School to sensitize students towards poverty and child abuse. And joining hands with him in this endeavor is Pooja, who has known John for over 20 years now.
He's one of those people who's always been full of life, very inspiring, creative. I think he's a combination of emotion and action. He's one of those very few people who's actually put everything that he's felt into action, and I've seen this in him very consistently for several years now. He's been working for the cause of street children, and very intensely, and this has been his daily calling. It's not something that he just wakes up one day and then forgets about it. It's been consistent for the longest time that I've known him. You can't say he's a sculptor or a painter or a singer or a musician or a theatre person because he's just all packed in one. And when I say that, he does all of these things as well and as passionately. He's just not one of the artists.
For John, it's only natural to put the needs of these children before his own. Happiness to him means giving all children a reason to smile. Living each day with the same zeal and determination, John Devraj continues playing the role of a godfather in the lives of thousands of young ones.